Hello and welcome to another update video on HBAR. Yeah, the HBAR chart has tested the support box again. Price broke below all micro support levels, however. So all the standard support levels that we would normally use for a wave 2 got broken here. Yeah. So that means it's an unusually deep wave 2, but we always say that support is not invalidation, right? This is the area where typically we would like to see a reversal, but really it's valid as long as it's valid, as long as we don't have a break below the April low. And so far, this 1-2 setup is still holding. But honestly, this is like the last chance for the bulls to show up to keep this, how we call it, 1-2 setup alive. Let's map the roadmap. But again, it depends on this low holding now, like the Sunday low, right? The way it would work, if this was now a low, then we had the move up into the May high as wave 1. This was a wave 2 pullback. Third wave would be unfolding now, then a 4 and a 5. So there's a lot of work to be done. First of all, we need to see a break above this internal swing high, and I would actually label it WXY structure. So WXY. So this would be the pattern that likely unfolded, but only if the last low holds. I mean, this is valid, but the probabilities, I would say, of upside follow through have reduced. But I would say they go up again if we finally get a break above 18.4 cents, because that would indicate that one of the important swing highs is broken, especially here in such a corrective pullback. If an X wave high, or it could be a B wave high in a different count, gets broken, that's typically a first indication that the next move up is starting. Full confirmation would come with a break above 23 cents, which is the top of the wave 1. Obviously, confirmation is not certainty, so we still need to be, we still need to keep, keep watching the microstructures for any failures, because it is an altcoin chart. It is quite unreliable with that deep wave 2. And it looks like a double bottom structure that in itself makes it kind of questionable. But yeah, what can I say? This is still a key level to watch. If we break below the Sunday low, and with that a break below the red line, then the 9.8 cent level would be next. That would be the next test. Then I would have to assume that the correction that started in December is still unfolding. It would also open the door to a much more bearish interpretation, because the immediate bullish one will be invalidated. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Definitely something that's also realistic. But as long as the Sunday low is holding, I'm giving the bulls one more chance here. I mean, I've never taken it off the chart, but it's become questionable, that 1-2 setup. What can I say, right? This remains my view that we are still potentially in this bullish structure. But yeah, it's absolutely important that the bulls turn up. Now, what we can do as well, we can watch for a micro 5-wave move up from the low. I mean, this already is a 5-wave move up, but it's so small, it's not really useful to use it in the analysis. What I want to highlight here is that if we can get 5 waves up in wave 1 of 3, then and we can look at another 1-2 setup smaller degree. Yeah, but you see how small this is. We need to see all these 5 waves, basically something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can talk. Then we can talk. So yeah, lots of volatility in the crypto sector. I mean, lots going on in the world. But for those who were wondering, well, didn't something break loose in the Middle East? Again, I can always say, don't just assume because something is happening somewhere in the world, it's causing a sell-off. It's just not the case. It can be a catalyst, but it's often happening. I mean, just an example. Bitcoin hit key support levels. I mentioned in the Bitcoin video, 3 support levels, technical levels. Yeah. And yeah, the situation in the Middle East might be escalating. But guys, who tells you that because of that the markets need to sell off, right? So I mentioned that in one of the posts on X a few days ago. You can go and read it. Very valuable information there about why we should not understand markets in a way as most people do, which is people assume it's news driven, which is not. at least not only that, right? There are many other factors that play a role here. So, yeah, from a pretty oversold condition, we start to see some movement, but this would be how a 5-wave move would look like. If we get these 5 waves completed maybe over the coming sessions, then this would be our first signal that a low is in. Ideally, these 5 waves break above the green line there. That's the update on HBAR. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.